Okay, now I'm going to show you how we use ArcFM to create and modify asset data in the GIS. First, I'll search for a pole location where I intend to create a primary line extension. I'll create the line extension, and then I will finish the line extension and modify some existing GIS data. So I start by opening up the ArcFM locator. I want to do a search on a pole number MM3. I want to go find that pole. There's pole MM3. Now that I'm in the general vicinity of where I'm going to start this edit, I'll adjust my map a little bit and I'll open up Session Manager. Now Session Manager is a great work function tool. It really allows us to track work. As you can see, if I tip this over, you can see all the work that's assigned to me. If I want to see any particular session based upon another user, I can type in that user's name, type in the status, click OK, and it will show me that user's work. I can click all sessions for any work that's in the system, and I can of course filter on things like names or session values. Okay, so what I want to do now is create a session. I'm going to name this session Overhead Line Extension Demo, and this will be an electric distribution demonstration. I'll go ahead and open that session, and what that does is start me in the map session editing so that I can start creating and changing information. Now I'm going to go to my Features tab. I'm going to tip over the System Favorites. I'm going to go to my electric templates for overhead, and I'm going to select the overhead single phase line extension template. You'll notice that ArcFM wants to snap into some existing primary conductor. So I'll take that as my start point. I'll place a pole at that location, another one here, and I'll finish my pole extension at that intersection. Now what's happening with the templates is it's going to ask me a series of questions, like do I need a tap pole at the existing location or at the takeoff location, and the answer is no, there's an existing pole there. So we'll say none. And then for the next 4 poles, I can offer the user a list of values for the types of poles that they would typically use for doing this kind of a line extension. So here I'm going to choose a 45-foot Class 4 wood pole construction. I'll say next. Goes to the next pole and asks me the same question. Now if I want to just let the system know to use the same type of pole for all of the poles, I can click the Apply to Remainder button and hit Next. And that will apply 45-foot Class 4 poles to all those locations. Now the template's asking me if I need a tap at or a fuse at the tap location. We'll say yes. And that pretty much finishes up the primary overhead. Now I'm going to add a 25 kV transformer with secondaries. I'll snap it into this pole location with a meter on this home and a meter on this home. Notice it draws in, I'll zoom in here so you can see it, draws in the transformer, the overhead service drops, and the meter points. Now what I want to do is draw an underground line extension up this cul-de-sac. So I'll go to my underground single phase primary line extension. I'll tap into that existing overhead, and we can draw this line around this street like this. Or if we want to use some existing geometries, there are some other tools that allow us to use existing GIS features to help us draw features very neatly. So I'll finish this up, and I will undo that edit. This time what I'm going to do is select this street edge, make sure that my streets are actually selectable. I'll select that street edge. I'll do another single phase underground line extension. I'll snap into that overhead line, but this time I'm going to use my follow along tool. And notice now that my underground line extension is following along that street edge. I can hit O for offset and give it a 5-foot offset distance. If I want it on the inside of the curb, I hit the tab key, and that places the conductor on the inside of the curb. So I'm going to finish my sketch with a transformer at that location. We'll need a riser at the dip pole. We'll need some fusing, and then we'll need a transformer at the end of the line, and we'll use a 50 kVA transformer. Now I want to run some underground secondary to a pedestal across the street. Go ahead and get that placed so that in the event that they pave this, we don't have to come back later and cut that. And perhaps we'll set a pedestal in between those two lots and a pedestal in between these two lots. Then we'll draw in some underground service from this pedestal to these homes. The one from here to that home. And then what I like to do is zoom in here and draw an underground service to this point parallel to that property line with an exact length of 91 feet. Then we'll go perpendicular to that line, a length of 12 feet. And that's where we'll place our meter pedestal. Okay, so I'm pretty much finished with my drawing of my primary line extension and my underground line extension. As you can see, we provide templates to help our end users become very efficient and effectively create information very rapidly in the GIS. Now,